All right, welcome to another episode. This is episode 40. Episode 40. I shouldn't be excited because I don't want any more episodes. But anyway, of my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's also a blog, there's video content, there's a transcript, rss.com, my FX Buddies. That's where the transcript is. Spotify.com has a video content, but you can get everything. The articles, there's some video clips I'm going to have there. There was one other thing. Anyway, all of those things are all in one place at the blog. And the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And wherever you're watching or looking, however you're enjoying this content, in the more or description or whatever box, there should be a link to the blog with the video that shows everything that I'm going to talk about. All right, and there's a lot. Okay, so let's get to it. It is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. This is going to cover very little from April 15th. And my phone is going to be going off. Sorry. Anyway, the 2024. All right, so I'm starting with an article from today, though, because I really, really like this article. It says, and it's the title to the blog, after 21 years of the dollar auction, Iraq is close to closing the window amid reassurances and warnings. Now, they've said this before in other articles, but I just think now at this crucial time with Sudani here, Sudani and about 800 other people, I'm just kidding, not 800, 130, 140 other people, and all the things that they're talking about, it really seems to like it's going to mean more. So, plus, if you're listening to anyone who tells you they stopped the auctions, here you go. It's in black and white. They have not stopped them. Now, I don't like that I'll just read this. Iraq is approaching the end of the closure of the dollar selling window at the central bank, which has been controversial over the past 2 decades. There may be one other country in all the years of us liberating countries, where we did this dollar auction, but none as long and knowingly corruption money is coming out of here. They know the money's coming out of here and going to places it probably shouldn't be going, right? 20 years they've been doing this. Anyway, so the central bank's management plans to gradually, I don't like gradually, but I guess that's how they have to do it, cancel the dollar auction during the year 2024, leading to its complete cancellation by the end of the year, and to maintain it for audit and statistical purposes in an effort to enable Iraqi banks to establish, sometimes they do that, I don't know why, like they're double emphasis, I guess, solid banking relationships with the global and regional banking sector. And then there's more. And this is actually quite long, but it's good. All of it is good, except they're indicating could possibly be through the end of the year. But that still doesn't mean there's going to be an adjustment time. How long, who knows? But the people, the citizens in Iraq, once they see the new money is out and they see the rate is different, right? Which they're going to be showing them. It's going to be on TV. There's a show that comes on. It's a 30-minute show. That's all he talks about is money. And I think it's new. Well, I just saw it during Ramadan when the programming changed. And it's it's in the Kurdish language, so I guess it's a Kurd show. He definitely will show if there's new notes out and a new rate. He definitely will have it on his show. It's all in Arabic, so don't even ask. And it comes on at 1 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. But anyway, um, and there was something else I was gonna say. They'll have to show them, okay, look, we did it. We're on new notes now, and you have more purchasing power. Then I think they'll really be like, forget the dollar, shoot, let's use our money, yay, Iraqi dinar, right? So I guess that's why gradually it will happen, but they'll still transact, uh, what is it, trade, right? Merchants, they'll still do stuff in dollars. So there will still be a need for a dollar, but maybe it'll be digital. I don't know. But the more they cut out the dollar, that's the less money, corrupt money that can go to Iran and Syria and Lebanon, if you believe that's happening, right? Okay. So this is a long article. Like I said, not everyone's going to read it, but at least read the beginning and this part right here that I put in blue. Okay. So this is yesterday. The United States grants, listen, because I'm not, you're going to say, did she say Iranian? Yes, I said Iranian. Okay. The United States grants the Iranian foreign minister an entry visa to visit Washington. Say what? Yes. So if you listen to the last blog, and I was trying to find words to say, I didn't want to call what's going on with them a game, but it's like it's a show. People are really dying. So I'm not saying it's fake, but it just seems scripted and just weird. And then here, we're giving this guy who's in the U.S. military's eyes probably a bad guy, right? We're giving him a visa to come here. But guess why? This week it's an annual happening. The G20 finance ministers and probably their entourage, they probably have some people that travel with them. They're all at the UN for something, some spring meetings, right? You could probably look it up. I might look it up and have it in. I'll try to do a post tomorrow because there's going to be even more news for enough for tomorrow. So but those who are familiar with Washington, D.C., how quick is it to get from New York to Washington, D.C.? Especially if you have access to a private plane, right? So Iran is somehow in these meetings. And that is so crazy to me. I bet you they are, right? Even though they say he's here. I don't know if he's here today, but his visa is good for this week, and the meetings are this week. So yeah, he's probably here. Probably gonna sneak into something. I'm just kidding, not sneak in. But anyway, so I thought that was interesting. Okay, so look at this building. Does this look like something we have here in America? But it says that this is the speaker, and it says he's here on the trip with Sudani. He's the government spokesman. But this is an Irani lady interviewing him. But I do know they also did bring press. That's why there's such a big entourage of people. They also brought some of their press agents. So, but look, the title, Sudani did not address America's withdrawal in Biden meeting. And the government spokesman says the discussion is not military. What? If they're not here to discuss military, what are they here to discuss? So this strategic framework agreement, they want it activated. So there's another article that's probably not here. So remember, he went to speak to some people in Washington. Another article came out later. Matter of fact, I'm going to have some pictures here. But another article that came out today that I don't have here says the strategic framework was signed in 2011. So for those of you who don't know, in Iraq, they have a 3-step process. They approve, then they implement, and then they activate. So apparently some of these agreements, maybe they've been agreed to and signed off on, but not activated. So yeah, but it's really a big deal. They really want that strategic framework activated. So yeah. So this trip is very much about economics. So here are some videos. Right now I just have the video links. But I'll put them, I'll embed them. I'll embed the videos in post-production, but I'm going to have them there, not at the bottom. They won't be at the bottom. I'll have them here. Okay, so, yeah. So here, you probably saw that, but if you didn't, I'll have the video there. It's so hard for me to watch things where they have to translate. It's just, and I know Sudani speaks English. I know he does. Why he just can't speak English? But I know why, because, protocol and all that stuff. So anyway, now I thought this was interesting. I really like this picture. But, government advisor, bank structuring decisions are a precursor to comprehensive economic reform. So there's still stuff going on in Iraq, regular news stuff, which we probably won't, I won't have time to talk about, but I have some of them here. But I'm pointing out this article because that's part of what they're here for, is restructuring the banks, right? The path to economic reform begins with financial and banking reform. So last January, they approved reforming Rafadan and Rashid banks. It was supposed to take 6 months. I don't think they're done, but remember, they're going to be audited by Ernst & Young. And then I don't know if I talked about it on the last podcast, but there was a bank. I don't remember the name of the bank, but it was a state bank. Not only did they make it a public bank, but they also put it on the stock market so people could buy stock in it also. So they're reforming the banks. This title is interesting. The door of the White House is open to Sudani, entering an important stage and a will to untie a difficult knot. Now, you don't have to really read this, but here, a new stage. I ended with, in the last podcast, I was saying there's lots of, they're using the word new era, new stage, new chapter, right? So hopefully it is. So the files that will be discussed, whether economic, security, or political, must certainly benefit Iraq and have a role in the recovery of the economy and the return of stability to the dinar price. But we know we want more. We want improvement to the dinar price. But yeah, so here they're saying they like Sudani and he has the best chance for success. He's purely an Iraqi national choice, not imposed by external will like Eastern or Western. And the interests of Iraq is and its people above all else. So that's a little dig right there, right? Because, we put in the last couple of, I know people don't like to hear that, but we put in the last couple of prime ministers, and they know that. They're not dumb. The citizens are not dumb. They know that. But yeah. All right. See here again, Iraqi-American relations and establish a new era. All right. What's this one? Sudani speaks. Oh, okay. So here he spoke to a community in Washington about Iraq's recovery and the government achievements. And he says the country needs your expertise. And I have the pictures here. Now, that is pretty elaborate, huh? So maybe maybe that interview was here. I never been in any buildings like that where everything is so ordinate, or what's the word? Ornate. And yeah, um I got friends in low places. Like Garth Brooks. We got white walls. Anyway, all right. So here's a list. Sorry, the window's open. The following are the highlights of what the Prime Minister spoke during his meeting with the Iraqi community. And you can read it, but it says he did say America granted Iraq preferences and customs exemptions, and a memorandum was signed, signed with financing institutions worth $5 billion, all of which is not activated within the Strategic Framework Agreement. So there you go. Iraq today is different from what is in 2014 because ISIS is no longer a threat to Iraq. And then he goes on to say pretty much all the stuff that's happened under him, plus their plans like this. They want to enable Iraq to achieve gas self-sufficiency within 3 to 5 years. There's a lot of stuff here and you can read it. It's probably what he's going to say to the ones in Houston and also the ones in Michigan as well. But here he is speaking. Here he is entering the building. I know these are tiny pictures, but if you go to the blog, the pictures are there, and then you can make them bigger. We're running out of time. Okay. Sudani begins his visit to, oh yeah, so here's a bigger one, bigger picture, but let's see. Oh, if you're someone who likes to just quickly get to it, here's the bullet points. Same article, just the bullet points. All right. The visit to Washington is 100% technical and will witness the signing of contracts with major companies. And let's see. This visit is different from all the visits of previous prime ministers. I'm so sleepy. As it was always concerned with issues of security, the army, and military movements. But this visit, okay, this visit is a technical visit, 100%, and will address the topics of, blah, blah, blah. So you could read that. I made that. I bolded that. And here's more of what he's going to do today, because it said tomorrow. So this is today. All right. Here is another Alawi. Wow. That must be a common last name. But anyway, he says the Prime Minister's dialogue with the U.S. Treasury will address the government steps in financial reform. And they met today. So that was the last article dated yesterday. Oh, here, a security breach. Listen to this. A security breach committed by the Iraqi delegation in Washington, leaking important information. So remember when I told you I have some information that I know good and doggone well I shouldn't have? There it is. See, it says the location of the Iraqi delegation should not be disclosed as there are considered security issues, and explaining this in detail is not good. I mean, it even had a diagram of a stairwell, and it said at this stairwell to the right, there's a bathroom. 4 minutes. They gave him 4 minutes to use this bathroom. And anyway, so yeah. Not good, not good. But at least they caught it. I wonder how they caught it. Anyway, okay, the Pentagon announces a deal with Iraq. What was the deal? Whew. Equipment. And look at this. Northrop Grumman, $500 million. It's not here in this article, but it's down further. But here he is. Lloyd, that's his name. Lloyd Austin. And then Sudani. And I'm guessing these are probably Secret Service guys back there. But yeah, so let's see. Here is, okay, so they had that meeting here, the HCC people. This is a new committee, just, well, made public, made known to us, right? Who knows when they really put it together. But they're supposed to talk about the troops and stuff, right? When they're going to leave. But no, that's not what they talked about. We are loaning. Yes, I said loaning, which makes no sense to me, but we're loaning Iraq $50 million. $50 million. Um, Chris Tucker. For small and medium business enterprise. But also in this thing, here's the 2008 Strategic Framework Agreement between Iraq and the United States. So I guess this group is going to be important to putting it in effect, maybe. But let's see, what else did they talk about? The gas potential in Kurdistan, and the Kurds feel so slighted. There's so many articles in the news, but we'll talk about that later. Let's see. There's something in here about students. Here, provide a loan worth $50 million. Something about National Bank of Iraq, which we know they just capitalized themselves more. Let's see. Something about public health, improving public health, water management, climate change, of course, you can't leave that out. Moving people that are living in the camps after all these years from when ISIS came and tore up places, they moved some of the citizens out to these camps. So now they want to move them back. Well, there's something about some students. 5,000, here we go. Iraq government intends to send 3,000 male and female students to study in the U.S. And then some they're even going to send abroad. They welcomed initiatives. Still nothing about our troops, right? I'm reading you all this stuff, and there's nothing in here about our troops leaving. So, and I could not report this. The cheat sheet in you know whose hands. The need for notes or insufficient preparation. But we know that. And apparently they don't watch too many. I'm going to leave that alone. But so, to be fair, that's Iraq's news, right? But guess what? The New York Times, and there it is. They took an up-close picture. New York Post, not New York Times, New York Post. Sudani's statements in Washington were brief and improvised, and you know who used a cheat card. So isn't that interesting? All right, this guy is... So listen to the title. The starting step towards launching. A representative reveals what the Sudani seeks to achieve by visiting Washington. And look, if you see this, he's looking up kind of, and his hand, it's like he's just explaining how great the future is going to be, right? And that's exactly what he's doing. This is a 4-paragraph article, 4 small paragraphs. So here, the visit will be the beginning step towards Arab and global cooperation. Will restore confidence to strengthen partnerships with all countries of the world as choosing America as the first station. Blah, blah, blah. For files with America and a departure for all countries of the world. Here again, it's the start of relations that will activate the strategic agreement. And then blah, blah, blah. Choosing America in the forefront. Reassurance to all countries of the world. And then the last sentence, this guy, Mashkour, he's a current member of parliament. He's not on Maliki's coalition, clearly, right? Or he wouldn't be saying such positive things. Anyway, he expressed his hope that Sudani's visit to America will be the beginning step towards Arab and global cooperation and return Iraq to the natural position among countries because of the many mines and resources it possesses. So he's screaming, we're going international. That's what this trip means, everyone. We're going international. I like that article. Just really quick, another update from their ports, custom and port, that SCOTA system, the ASYCUDA, Iraq records the highest quarterly growth rate in customs revenue. And it's just the beginning. This is long. If you want to read it, it's there. I know some people are really into that. I'm not. My phone's not charging. It will, though. All right. Here, former. So this is a great article, except it's written by a former member of parliament. But he says Sudani's visit to Washington will strengthen the dinar against the dollar and resolve the issue of the lack of liquidity of the dollar in Iraqi banks. And blah, blah, blah. He stated the visit would strengthen the Iraqi dinar currency against the dollar and ensure the parallel exchange rate is close to the official one. So those are all good things we want to hear. But again, he's not in government right now, right? So the Pentagon approves a military deal with Iraq worth more than $500 million. So here is, it breaks it out a little more. Some aircraft, some fleet of something. So that's just one. I think there's 2 more aerospace companies in Texas they're going to meet with. So $500 million. All right, Iraq and America are discussing the recovery of wanted persons and concluding memorandums of understanding. Now, there was an article, I don't know if I put it here, but it says at the very least. So the main thing they want is the strategic strategic framework agreement activated, and at the very least, they want memorandum of understandings signed, right? Okay, you know what? I think I left the meeting out with the Treasury. I did. He met with the Treasury, and it looks like they're in a hallway. Let's see. You look at this and you tell me. Here, Sudani and the U.S. Treasury discuss ending sanctions. Oh, maybe I did read that, but I wanted to point this out. Doesn't that look like a hallway? I'm sorry. We're discussing like billions of dollars, maybe trillions, and we're meeting in the hallway. It's a nice hallway, right? With decorative stuff, and look at the carpet, and they have nice cushy chairs, but it's a hallway. How come they couldn't get them a meeting room? But to be fair, also, this is at the hotel that he's staying in, the Willard something or another. Very swanky, but apparently their rooms are not very big. The meeting rooms are not very big. Because if you're just listening and you're not going to go watch the video, it's probably 24 people here. 2, 4. I don't know. I'm not very good at counting, especially when I'm extremely sleepy. I'll say 20, 22 people. But yeah, And look at, they're writing on their laps. They have their stuff. And is there Wi-Fi in the hallway? How come no one has a computer? I think that's hilarious. Okay, forgive me. I just have to point out things like that. But okay, so let's go back over here. Well, okay, I did want to show you. Okay, we're almost done. Oh, we are done. That was the last. Oh, wait. Here. So even though this article is talking about recovery of wanted persons, look at the last. The discussion conducted by a coordination team also included emphasizing the importance of accelerating. So I'm looking at Bloomberg. Accelerating the conclusion of memorandums of understanding between Iraqi integrity commissions and the U.S. Department of Justice, the DOJ. Our Department of Justice signs off on a lot of stuff. Anyway, and the Iraqi Money Recovery Fund and the U.S. Treasury. So I'm like, if you just would have looked at that, the recovery of wanted persons. And then also in their news today, they're thinking about running a program to get convicts. It seems like they're saying convicts can buy their way out of jail. So that would be interesting. Anyway, so we'll close with this because we're over just a bit. But a meeting between Sudani and the head of an American company, Stellar Energy. Isn't that the one their symbol is a star and all the little stickers have the star on them? I think that is. So they're in Washington at the room. Okay, look at that. So he is cramming in meetings every minute that he can. Look at those bananas. And there's some flowers there. But that's a couch with a pillow. That's his hotel room. But it says here, on the sidelines of the visit, it says somewhere here, but they call it his residence. And the residence reviewed the implementation progress, see, of companies' projects, implementation in Iraq, Kirkuk and Sardar City. Anyway, also he met with General Dynamics. I don't think I've heard of them, to develop Iraq's armament. Isn't that military stuff? Armament? Oh, here it is. They met in the evening in his residence in Washington, D.C. A delegation from General Dynamics, which is one of the largest American companies that manufactures weapons and military equipment. Yeah. So see, he came here to do business. So there's no way they want our troops to leave when they're going to need business. They're going to need protection for a little while. I do think Iran is still going to try to be a problem for a while, but eventually they'll give up. Oh, I did want to show you this video. Oh, okay, here. This is him. This is Sudani meeting Lloyd Austin, I believe. Yeah, there he is. And he's signing some book, a guest book. There they are at the table, sitting on opposing sides like they're at battle. Which they kind of are, right? Negotiations can be considered battle. But I'll put that's one of the videos that I'll have there, because if you're just listening, because remember, if you're listening to this on YouTube, you're not seeing everything that I pointed to. You're just listening to the podcast. But you could go to the more, I think it says more, click on more, and then there's a link to the blog where the video is. All right. So, yeah, a lot is happening. A lot is yet to happen. especially Thursday when they go to Texas. So it's just Tuesday. I'm sure he's doing something tonight. Um, Maybe we'll find out. But I'm going to end this here because, again, this is covering April 15th and April 16th up to noon. I'll say noon. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you can see this really is different. As a matter of fact, oh well, that'll be on tomorrow's blog. They have an article. 4 prime ministers have come, and none of them have had this experience. So this is definitely different. We're not going to go to the bank this week, probably not next week either, because there's another significant meeting with Turkey towards the end of April, like April 20th or 22nd. So I'm thinking what's going to happen is Sudani's going to tell him, hey, this is what we talked about, because they have to work together because they share water. They share those pipelines. Turkey and at the Turkey and Kurdistan border, there's oil pipelines. So I'm sure there's things they're going to run by them and say, do you agree with this? Whatever. Those are things we don't see, but I believe happens. And yeah, so whatever they report, I will report for you. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. What is it? Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. And enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. Until next time.